had never met someone who had gone through that.
I was in a point where it was scary. I know I'm not to blame my dad, but it was scary.
Yeah.
It was scary. I was born a twin. I was the one who even was bubbly and all over.
I get a phone call, and in this phone call, I'm asked, "Are you Annie?" I'm like, "Yes." I'm calling you about Brian. Brian has gone into a relapse. You're not picking, you're not responding to my text messages. Hey babe.
Hey.
Mambo.
Poa.
Uko aje?
Niko fiti.
Tamimi niko poa. We're back.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tuko.
Yeah, we're still getting naked and unashamed.
Yes.
Yeah, well, I think last week was heavy, but I thank God we got to talk about it. I got to open up, and we will have more of this, that we're getting deeper, we're showing people that we are real, and that we've had real issues. We're happy together, but it does not mean that we've not had to deal with issues, faced by challenges, that we actually had to choose love over whatever it is that that was ahead of us.
Yeah.
And it just strengthens. Like, I felt when we did the last podcast, I felt like I needed to go back and listen to the podcast where we were talking about the decision to love someone.
Oh yeah.
Like, this is my person. This is the person I have chosen, and I choose to love them. That love is a decision. It is not a feeling. And something that I've not yet brought to this podcast is that when we were dating and we are talking all these things, and we have decided to date for marriage, all this while I like you, but not love you.
Okay.
Love as in I was not feeling, I didn't have those feelings, those feelings you feel, you're like, what I could feel, I'm feeling, I didn't, it was decision, like, fine, this is who you are, I know you, I ask you questions, you answer, we talk, spend time together, I ask you about values, you ask me questions, and all this while, I like you, I like spending time with you, I think you're a really nice person.
Thank you.
We formed that friendship, knowing that this is towards marriage. Yeah. And you started telling me that you love me. Yeah. Yeah, you started talking about I love you. After some time, I love you. Then like, okay, thank you. I was not answering like I love you too, because I wanted it to come from my heart. Not that I had not decided to love you from my heart, but I had not summarized. I had not summarized everything about you. I had not yet had that punch. I was still feeling like there's still something that I need to experience in order for it to stamp that I have actually decided to love this person and I actually love them.
Okay.
I don't know whether that makes sense.
Yes, it's a fine divide between liking and then loving.
Yeah.
It's a very fine divide. Yeah.
But there was that decision. Like, I had decided, okay, sawa, this is the way we are going, and we are seeing each other. We are friends, and we are dating exclusively, and we are dating because we want to get married. But for some time, I had not told you that I love you. but you were already telling me that you loved me. Do you remember those periods? Did you ever ask yourself why I wasn't saying I love you?
Hey, do you even remember? Remember that period?
You don't.
Yeah, probably. I don't know. Probably.
That didn't really matter. Did it?
No, it did not, because I knew you don't have to be where I am at. Yeah, you don't have to be, like that. What I'm feeling is what you're feeling, and a seed. Because even as I tell you I love you, that should equally start now disturbing you and asking, hey, did he just say he loves me, and what does he really mean?
Yeah, because I think there's a time I asked you, why are you saying that you love me and you've not known me for long?
Hey.
Yeah, there's a time, maybe you can't remember, but I asked you,
yeah,
why are you telling me that you love me, but you've not known me for long? What
was my answer?
You told me love is a decision.
Oh, yeah.
That you have decided to love me.
Because this is what I believe, and I don't know, I have not heard it anywhere, or rather it's not very popular, that for the Bible to tell a man to love as Christ did, it's because God allows you, God orders you to do something.
Yeah.
Especially when it's you, not even it's against you, or it's rather it's not your strong point. So he'll command it so that you can work it out. For the man is to love his wife. It's not very natural for a man to love a woman. Yeah, it's not very natural. It's not very even through the years, the man might be the one who will fall out of love. So he's been ordered to love because it's his weakness. Look at it. Even when now he talks to the ladies, he tells them submit, because it's your weakness as well.
Submission.
Yes, it's your weakness. But he asks so that he demands it so that you can work it out. So for me, I think I was just answering to that call to start off. Yeah.
Start off as the one who loves first.
To start it and to start working it out. Yeah. And that's when now with all that now ends up being a decision you make. Yeah. You decide, I'm loving as a decision. Yeah. First, let it be as a decision. Yeah. Yes. So that even you can't find out why, you can't answer the question, why do I love you, you personally. Yeah. I'll just tell you because I want to. I've decided to love you. That will be my answer. I've decided to love you. Why? No, just tell me, why do you love me? Because I decided to love you.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't adding up. Yeah. Because in my previous... because you see...
Men.
Yeah. Most of the men would respond, I mean, I love how you look.
Yeah. I like you.
I like you.
Yeah.
I like how you talk.
Yeah. Like your eyes.
I like your eyes. I like your shape,
Yeah.
But here you are, I've not even told you that I loved you. And the answer is that you have decided.
Yes.
It's not even about my body features. It's not about anything I have or...
Yeah. But you'd ask me, is it something I'd do for others as well? Is it something, if it didn't work out, would I tell somebody else?
Yeah, the same. How easy would you? Yeah. And so this brings in this point. I have not divided thoughts, but I have a lot of things running through my mind. One being, you're here now. You're telling me that you love me, but there are some things that you have not disclosed.
Okay.
To me.
Okay.
Yet.
Okay.
At that point, when you started saying you love me, and we had not talked about money. We had not talked about money, and you had handled when during our first weeks of the podcast, we were talking about the miracle.
Yeah.
It was a financial miracle.
Yes.
And up to that point, you had not yet told me concerning any finances you had ever held.
Yeah.
And having that in mind and having known that this is the person I've decided to love and I'm loving them, then I also now start, looking at you in that light. I'm like, I need to know what's this one thing that is causing me not to say I love you also.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, let me see how to empty these thoughts. So here, I don't know. There's something you should tell me.
Yeah, you don't know.
Here, I don't know. Thus far. Thus far, I know you. I don't even know when you had bought your car.
Yeah, you don't know. Yeah, you just see me with a car.
I am seeing you the car. You're picking me, dropping me.
You don't know if it's they have been there forever. It's just recent.
Yes. I know I had been doing Uber, and you had been doing Uber, so you were like, nice. Yeah. We have something in common. Yeah. Apart from I whistle better than you. That's something else we have in common. So, in my mind, I don't know that exists. That part of knowledge that I should know exists.
Yeah.
Higher. We're seeing each other, we're friends, calling each other, talking and meeting when I come over. And then it so happens that you have already introduced Annie to your family. They now know this person. They know that you're picking and dropping this lady who has children, and it's puzzling because they are wondering how in the world you are going to manage a family of this many children from just being a single father of one. And during that time, you had started a new job. You had started a new job. And it so happened that you told me about your life in India and the things that happened.
That was my college.
Your college life. Yeah, you told me about your college life. I think if you take us through that, I'll be able now to empty the rest of my thoughts.
So that's that. I share about my lifestyle. I shared it mostly when I was still in the recovery. Just post that session, that season of college.
Yeah,
I shared it. Probably from a point of this is what I went through. This is how India is like life, college life is like. Speaking about it, about my friends, cool friends, and so that was the talk. And then with time, now this because I'm from India, that's when I just gave my life to Christ. So I started maturing in Christ, and then that talk started ceasing. I started ceasing. Just like you talk about how you used to hang out. The past started not making sense. It started not being priority anymore. So I've been shutting that voice for some time now. I don't talk much about it anymore. But with you, I've noticed that sometimes I mention about my friends. I mention about my life in India, my friends and how they were once in a while. So this was a place when I was young. So I was just after high school. Me and my dad took us, me and my brother, to India. We were taken to India for schooling. And those were my 2 years in India, and which was very fast. These are young late teenage boys who have just finished school and they're in a country where they are handling their own money. Not handling their own money, but rather having money they're managing the only money they have. And they are handling the only money they have. They have no one who's overlooking them. They decide when to go to class. They decide what to do with their nights, what to do with their weekends. On their own, no one is there. Totally ungoverned. So what do I do? I throw caution away. I throw it away, and I'm not cautious. It was a serious lifestyle of indulging, and so there was no sober moment in those 2 years. I know the first year had a little bit of a strain, but the second year was thrown away in the wind. So this was where I was coming from. A lot of freedom and a lot you give yourself. You're the one who's managing yourself, and there's no one supervising you. It was classes were you want to go whenever you want to. You don't want to go, you just do your, I don't know, that's 20% per attendance. That was all they needed. The rest, you can do whatever you want. So, it was crazy. So, with that, the indulging and the intoxication, I slipped into depression. I didn't know. I always say, having now raised my son, my youngest, having raised my son and hearing him one time telling me that I'm depressed. Personally, I never got to a place to know just the name stress, the name depression. I never knew them. So there's no time I would tell somebody, hey, I'm feeling stressed or I'm feeling depressed. Those are vocabularies to me. They are nowhere in my dictionary. So even when I got into depression, I didn't know what was happening to me. I didn't know this is depression.
What was happening?
I don't know. I just still knew. Number one, I was not talking to people. I was disinterested. I could not talk for a whole year. I'd be like 8 months, 6 months, 7 months. I would not talk to people. I would be intoxicated all the time, and so when people come to visit our house, this time I was living with some friends. I'd left, we were living, the first year we lived with my brother, but I moved out and lived with some friends. But when people would visit my house, I would just be quiet. They come, they sit with me the whole day. I say nothing and they leave. In and out, day in, day out. I would only speak to my speaking was I didn't have a sound. And even I remember even one of them, my own friends, told me, hey bro, these things you're smoking, because it was a lot of marijuana, a lot of weed. So this guy told me, hey, gee, these things are not good for you, Chana, they're not good for you. Would I want to hear that?
What was happening to you? Why were you quiet? Did you feel like you didn't have words?
Good question. So it was, I had picked an attitude. I'd picked an attitude. Now, so these friends of mine, they were those guys, those guys who popular guys. Popular guys. So they picked me up as to be one of them. So I'm so super proud. I'm so proud that I don't feel these other ones are deserving. Of my company, of your voice. Of my voice, yeah. Wow. That was it. So I was like,
you're too cool
I'm too cool for them. I was feeling so, because for the ladies, oh no. For the ladies, I'm so sorry, but I was feeling super cool. Super cool. So guys would come in and they sit there, they're talking with each other, but me, I'm just quiet. I'm looking at guys, I'm just watching TV. And they leave. I was just feeling super cool. That's all I feel. It's the cool kid, and that was it. And I remember at that time, even the kind of the mood that was there, the kind of air that was there, music and all that was the Snoop Dogg's, the Tupacs. Yeah. So you're feeling you're a G. And who's these guys? Who are these guys now? I was feeling I was too super cool. So that was it. So that really took the second year, and now I'm seriously in weed because I see Snoop smokes weed every day. Sip gin and smoke every day, and that would be my call.
So when would you go to class?
Never. I'd go in the middle of the small short sober sessions. I'd decide, let me run to class.
And then when you go to class, would you even study?
I would go through a lesson which you don't know what the teacher said, or rather, even if he said something, it was such a short time that it didn't matter. Was the topic clear to me or not? I didn't even think about those things. Yeah. So, and I remember first year I did quite well because I was doing tuition. So apart from classes, I had tuition. So I did quite well first year. So I thought, I'll hack it with tuition. Even if I don't do classwork, I'll look for a tutor, some private tuition. And I got some funny private tutor who was a fellow student. I don't know. But I just didn't have guidance. So I missed that step properly. So by the time it was 7 months down the line, a brother has fried his mind. It is super fried, and now I'm depressed, super depressed. Because I remember that days I would smoke and I wake up in the morning and I nosebleed like crazy. Yes, I would super nosebleed. Like for 15 minutes, it's just gushing out. Yeah, so I really fried my mind. And so that was her lifestyle. So so this kicked into now depression. And I had to be brought back home. I didn't even clear my course. I had to be brought back home. And actually, even being brought back was literally being brought back because I did not bring myself.
You were not aware of what was happening.
I was aware.
You had sunk into depression.
Yes. I was depressed, but when I meet my guys, because now when I got depressed, and it's my bro came for me from the house and asked me, what's the problem? And I couldn't tell him what's the problem. I'm also feeling good super cool for him. I don't know what to tell him. I'm trying to say, I couldn't even work out what is happening with me. But I was still feeling. So when he told me, let's go live, we left with him, went to his house where he's living. And then when I was visiting now with my friends would come visited, or rather when I'd meet them later in the day, I still feel excited. So they were like what was giving me what can I call it?
You could relate in that state. You would relate with them.
Yes, I would still feel these are the guys, and even I didn't afford a smile. I'd even laugh at jokes. Yeah, so I think I picked up now from there is when now it started now taking things started changing. Because now from there, I remember when I went to my brother's place, I remember that's in that period I got born again. I told my brother to get born again, and he told me, that's a good thing. So we went to church the coming Sunday, and I was prayed for with a brother, a Kenyan brother. I don't even know who he is. God bless him wherever he is. Yeah, and I got born again, and now from there, I came back. I think after that salvation, I took a week and I was brought back to Kenya. And that's how it started, the journey to healing. I remember even before we get to that point, I remember it's my roommate who came and found me in a state, and he asked me, bro, do you want to see a doctor? And I told him yes. Even before now, my brother came. This my roommate is on, do you want to see a doctor? I told me yes. I told him yes. Then I think that's where Jean came somewhere, and my brother came and he picked me up and went to his house. Yeah. And I remember, but then we went to a doctor. And I can't. The doctor asked me, "What's your problem?" I'm not talking. Told me, "Pan, get on top of this. Get on the examining bed. Is it hurting here? Is it hurting here?"
So he's examining your body, and the problem is in your brain.
Yeah. So I didn't answer. So I don't know what he told my brother. So we went back to his house, and so that happens. I think my dad called. And I asked me to don't come home. I said yes. So I think we had our ticket back. When you go to India, you go buy a return ticket.
Okay.
So I used my return ticket to go back.
Yeah.
But I had to leave. I had to leave a similar day. A lady who had just finished her MBA was traveling the same night, same evening. So we traveled.
She kept
me company. Yeah. So of course I came back and it was so awesome. I got to the airport and I met my family.
Yeah.
They were super excited to see me. Maka, you know that you can't see anyone judging you.
Yeah.
That you've messed your life.
Yeah.
And that you've wasted your education.
Yeah.
They were there. They took me out. They bought me burgers. They just took me back in. My mom and my dad and my uncles, they were there. They brought me in. And then now, I think a week later, I was taken to a rehab.
Yeah.
So this now the work of the healing process. I remember my dad was trying most things. He didn't know what to make of it. Yeah. So I remember that time he took me to a pastor. Yeah, he took me to for deliverance. A pastor in Riruta, Crisco.
Kangare Crisco.
Next to
this school.
Precious Blood. Yes, there. Yeah. I don't know. See, just they prayed over me. I didn't know what was happening. I just nothing happened. So he went back. Now he said take me to a doctor. That's when I was put into a rehab. Then started a journey of medication. Yeah. So it's a good thing that there are doctors who are competent and they can handle such cases. Yeah. For me, I was in a point where it was scary. As I know, I'm not to blame my dad, but it was scary. Yeah, it was scary. I remember I've been telling my dad when I was young. I was born a twin. We were born twins, and I was the cool twin. I was the one who even was bubbly and all over. And so my dad called me Superboy. My older twin was calm and drawn, so they called him Blue Boy. So this dad is here, he knows me, I'm the Superboy, and now I'm beaten by, I don't know what this is beating him. I can't blame him. He must have been very, very, very disturbed. So that's why he was coming from, and so he had to do anything he wanted, it could be done. And I don't think that was the last time I saw him taking him to a doctor. There's another time late, I think 5, because it took a time for me to heal. That was 1997. 1997. So 1997, I worked with one doctor I worked with until my dad passed in 2011. I've been seeing that doctor from that time, 97, all the way to he passed just after my dad in 2011. He passed in 2013 or 2012. And so this is a journey from 97 all the 2012. Then 2012, then I picked up my current doctor. My current doctor has admitted me.
At
that 2013. Not Chiromo. I was at Chiromo, but it's called Bustani. It's still under Chiromo. So that's why he admitted me 2014.
So you had a relapse.
I had a relapse.
Yeah, so the reason why I brought this conversation, and we had already talked about it, it was okay for us to share, is because now we are dating.
Yeah.
I don't know yet.
Oh.
I've not yet said the words that I love you too.
Yeah.
And then when I met you, you told me this story.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, all of it until the point where we were seeing each other.
Yeah.
But you told me that, I mean, I didn't know the magnitude. I didn't know anything. I've never met anyone who had gone through such a process. Someone who was depressed, you know, and taking medication for it. I had never met someone who had gone through that. So you were telling me that you're trying to wean yourself off.
Yes.
The medication, and you were not on medication.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay.
At the time we were meeting.
Yeah.
Yes, at the time we were meeting.
At the time we were meeting.
Yes.
So it's like, okay.
And I can't even remember quite well what was. I think just faith,
Faith. You told me it was, you had believed that you're healed and that you did not need to continue taking medication.
Yeah.
So that's the time where we're meeting, you told me that.
Yeah.
And then months are still going.
Yeah.
And then it comes to a point, now we've really gotten deeper into our relationship, and now there is even love here. That you love me, and we have decided to commit to one another. You have mentioned my name to your family. Your mom knows about me, your brothers, your family knows about me. Some of my family members also know about you.
Yes.
We've not met, but they know of this person who we are now friends, right?
Yeah.
And so as we are dating and all this is happening, I get a phone call. Yeah. I get a phone call, and in this phone call, I'm asked, "Are you Annie?" I'm like, "Yes." I'm calling you about Brian. And that day I had really tried to call you, and you are not picking your call. You're not picking, you're not responding to my text messages. Yeah. Okay. So I was wondering, this is a first.
Yeah.
Like, there's no single day, I mean, you have ever not picked my phone call. If not, then you would immediately call back or text and say, "Hey, I'm busy right now, I'll call you back." But that day, you are not picking my calls nor responding to my messages. Then I got this phone call in the evening. And in this phone call, this person is asking me whether I know you. No, he's asking me whether this is Anne. I'm calling you because of Brian. And this person asked me whether you had told me that you had a condition. Now I'm like, what? You told me about this, but I didn't see it as a condition. Then the person told me, give me a summary, just a summarized version of even what you have given now is a summarized version. But that summarized version had much more details, but the sum of it was, in the summary, was that, and now Brian has gone into a relapse. I'm like, what does that even mean? In my heart, I'm like, what does that even mean? But even during this phone call, when I was told about this and I was asked, if he has told you concerning this condition, are you sure? This comes with a lot of responsibility. It comes with weight. It's not easy. We've walked this journey for many years, since 1997. Are you sure you're going to commit to a person who has these challenges? Me, I'm not seeing the challenge. Because at that point, I'm like, now I know. I know that I love you. That's how because like everything that was being said to me was, and I was looking, when you look at it like this, it's a challenge. Like, it's a challenge. How do you put yourself like through this? You know, it's a challenge. But in my heart of hearts, I knew. That was for me, that was a confirmation. And when I think about why I love you, I always go back to, I had actually decided to love you. It's just that I had not gotten that punch. It's like it had not sunk, you know, it had not come home that actually, yes, Actually, yes. To all those challenges, yes. Through all that, if we would still go back to 1997 and if I would still need to walk with you through your healing, seeing you in a rehab and all that, it would still be yes.
Yes.
Yeah. And that's how I knew. That's how I knew that I actually had decided to love you.
Yes.
And that's the day I started feeling feelings.
Yeah,
that's the day I started feeling feelings. Yeah, and of course later I got to understand why you are not responding to my call, because you had been taken to hospital, you are under medication, and you are not in a position to talk. You could talk, but the medication just calms your mind, and you just calm. You just calm.
Yeah, just calm.
And I came to see you, and you are just smiling.
So excited.
Yeah, and I'm looking at you.
You want me to tell you these things are happening to me,
and I'm wondering, you're smiling. You're smiling, and I'm here, but I was scared. I was like. I was shaken, but so motivated.
Yeah.
Like, actually, this is what I said yes to. And at that point, because now you could not live alone, your son had to be taken by your brother, and you had to go to your other brother. I mean, seeing you there, seeing how they were dedicated to just take care of you, I was just feeling, no, I should be the one doing this. I should be the one taking care of you. I really felt that. Yeah. But remembering of thinking of the principles and thinking of what culture we are in and what governs us. For me, because I decided to love you and the way I know you, I don't, even from then, this is the first time I'm talking about it as a condition. I mean, I don't see it as you have a condition, because I have never seen it come on our way. I've never seen it being a challenge, or an obstacle. I mean, you're a man, you are a good man, you are not violent, you're calm, you understand who you are, you understand scripture, you understand your God, like you're a whole person. You're not half a person because of what you went through. I also have gone through stuff. So, I mean, we've shared this so that we bring people into this notion that when we were talking about past hurts, and when we were saying that, what if you are the one that God is going to use to help that person heal? It's really not about love when it comes to the will of God. It's not, love is not selfish. Love is not selfish. You're not loving this person because of you. You're loving them because if God has decided that this is the person for you, then you love them because that pleases God. It pleases God. It does. Yeah, it pleases God. I'm not loving you because I would ever get anything from you. And the reason why I also brought the fact that there was a miracle that had happened to you, even when all this is happening, when you're getting sick, when I'm coming to see you all this time, I even went back to work, leaving you sick. Because remember, it was a long distance relationship. I would come home every 8 to 6 weeks. I left. And even during this time, I didn't know there was a miracle that had happened, and that you had handled some sum of money, and you're here getting sick. So when I looked at it during that time, now after I learned, after you told me about the money, then I thought, could it be that somebody might have thought that I was insisting to be with you because I had learned that you had some money. And so that is something that came to my mind afterwards. And because of that, there's a time we broke up. And we're not going to talk about it now. We'll come back and talk about it next.
Just a broken up or just a misunderstanding?
It was, well, remember, by the way,
2
it was
days. I don't know. 2 days.
No. Yeah, 2 days. Remember, it was not 2 days, baby.
It was Christmas.
It was Christmas. It was not 2 days.
It was not 2 days. Just a week, but
not a week. It was about 2 weeks.
No.
Yeah.
Hey,
actually, there's a time. Let me just throw this in to just whet people's appetite. There's a time you told me. During that period when you're now coming off medication, remember they're now starting to reduce your medication and all that. Then there's a time you told me, I had the Holy Spirit this morning. And he said no. He said it wasn't you. That this relationship was not meant to be. I was so shocked. And I told you, is that what he said? No problem.
Well.
Then we follow what the Holy Spirit says.
Wow.
If the Holy Spirit has said, I'm not the one for you, well and good. Bye. Have a nice life. Brother.
I don't know, guys. How will guys assist me? How do I entangle myself from this? How do I answer to this?
The Holy Spirit has told you after all the million confirmations.
Do you know? I know. There's a place when you get to tell somebody, and this thing Christians should learn. When you invoke that something you had was God. You know, the other person, you just shut them up. Just shut them up.
Yeah. I cannot say, can you talk about it? Can you talk about
what had God has said?
It is God. God has said, I am not the one. What can we talk about? Unless I go back to him and ask him, my Father, my God. Why did you speak to your son behind my back? This is not a family affair. You should have called us for a meeting or give us an identical dream. But how do you talk to your son behind my back and I am not the one? And you have not told me this. I was done. I was so done. I was like, fine. Bye. Enjoy your life. It's okay. But I was really shocked. I was shocked.
I think the next morning it changed.
The next morning you're calling me and telling me, I think I had my thoughts. that really wasn't God. I don't know what. And I was like, man.
No, you cannot do that.
You cannot do that. You cannot do that. And I was so angry at you. Like, you cannot do that. You cannot do that. You cannot play the God card on me and then come back and withdraw your words. You know, you don't do that. You don't do that because now you're playing with my heart. I have my feelings invested here. We're already making plans.
It really hurt you. But it was not easy.
It wasn't. It wasn't.
But for you, even just to be quiet and also decide to just then let's. You decided to be quiet,
I actually just said, let's just not speak. Don't call me. We took a few days. I think that's the one we didn't talk for a few days. And then I told you to just, after some time, I told you, okay, let's talk. Let's talk. Just when you have time. When you have time, when I'm on my break, let's just sit and talk. And I brought a list of things I needed done. I know you cannot remember, but we'll talk about them when you come back on the next episode. Thank you, people. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Actually, I think we're coming to an end of season 1. We've dwelt on season 1. So we might be going to season 2, and season 2 is going to be. We've just been giving you snippets of how season 2 is going to look like. In season 2, we're just going to get even much more deeper. It's going to be excellent. It's going to be awesome. So thank you. Thank you, baby. You have final thoughts?
No, I'm okay.
Sure?
Yeah.
Sure?
No, I don't know. I'm okay. I love the way it has ended. It's at the right point.
At the right point? Sour. Have a good one. We'll see you on the next one. Bye.
Bye.